Hello and welcome. So today's part of winterisation day. I've been working in the yard this morning to cover up packs of wood, and I'm going to show you that. But there's also a few other jobs I have to do. I have to help out some neighbours, especially this one. And he's not well right just now and needs all the help he can get. So left on the back of the tractor is still the rough cutter. I've got to take this off and somehow manoeuvre it and park it into there, check his tractor over, and then go and put the snow thrower on the back of it. This has been started in a few months now, and can't say as I'm particularly familiar with it. But anyway, we'll get this picked up. I think it's held up with a rope or something, I'm not sure. And then get this started and manoeuvre it into there without demolishing the buildings, and see how we go from there. Who knows? It's going to be one of those adventures. Oh dear, that don't look good, does it? What's happened there? Okay, well, let's see how we get on. There's the stop button, and there's neutral. That's not sounding good. Not quite sure how we're going to stand that up there now. And just to upset everybody, I haven't got my tripod either. So that's that. I put it on charge, charged the battery. I've done all the fluids, and yeah, that's that job. And then we've just got to put the lawnmower away and got the snow blowers out. Right, off to the next job. Since I'm walking down here, I may as well show you an update on the gravel drive. I can't remember how many weeks ago I done this, but it's actually compacted down quite nicely. Ideally it could have done with a roller in the middle, but anyway. So that's that. And then I've got my payment for the day. So I've got a bottle of... Actually, I've got 2 bottles of handmade apple juice, and could be blueberry, could be lingonberry, but anyway, what it's not is anything with alcohol in it. I'll say that because I don't drink alcohol of any description. Right, now where was I then? Oh yeah, I remember, off to another job. I know where that job is. I just finished clearing up my own yard, ready for winter. I'm going this way because there's something interesting I want to show you. So recently they put in underground heating at the Big Gourd, which is the village hall, and they have to dig down quite deep. And as I'm sure I've mentioned many times, we're on a glacier bed. What does a glacier bed look like? Well, you've seen in Gold Rush and all the other gold programs, they're looking for riverbed, round pebbles, some kind of clue that they're at the bottom. I'll show you round pebbles. I'll show you where the big gold is. There you go. That's what's underneath my feet. A lot of quartz, a lot of quartz, a lot of iron veins. Lots of iron veins, more quartz. There's lots of quartz. There you go, that's what a glacier bed looks like. I think that's quite cool. Anyway, all that came out quite a small hole. You'll be surprised how small a hole that was to produce all that. But this pink quartz here, if you know what that's got inside it, leave it in the comments. In fact, if you see any of this and you know more about rocks than I do, ask me a question, leave it in the comments. Another iron veins. There's a lot of iron here in the north. A lot of gold here in the north. A lot of minerals here in the north. Glacier bed. There we are. It's interesting living in a world where 80% of all the noise you hear is your own. Birds, they're not noise. Beautiful. Love it. Anyway, I think it's time for a glass of apple juice. No, haven't had the apple juice yet. I'm still walking. So many things of interest. I find it interesting anyway. So, winterisation. I'll start this morning early because it's supposed to be really bad rain today. And then after today the temperatures drop. So I started doing my own winterising. I have to completely clear the yard of all this chaos. Anything that isn't within the boundaries of a building. Well, what I was doing was sheeting up. You see, all the timber's been moved. Sheeting up all the packs of timber. I won't be able to get to them again till May, possibly June. So today's middle of October, and I'm saying that it's unlikely I'm going to get these end of May, beginning of June. So that's where we are with that. That's our winterisation this morning. And once we've cleared the yard, then we've got to drag the yard and smooth it all out before the frost comes. Put the drainage ditches back in, and then we'll be done. Right, now we're going for the apple juice. So having talked about them, I think these two are the same. They're both apple juice. What's it like? Freshly squeezed. Now I'm kind of curious to know what kind of juice that is. Since we've earned it. Oh my god. Oh. Oh, I'm not sure. I believe that to be about 40% sugar. Wow. Yeah. Uber sweet, whatever that is. Apple juice freshly squeezed, apple juice freshly squeezed. Very nice. Oh, how the sugar. If this is a staring competition, who's going to blink first? You? It's a bit scary, isn't it? He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Yeah. Welcome to the top of the world. If it's your first time, I'm Simon, and there's a job we needed to do a few days ago. So you can see the frost. We've had our first deep frost. Now the sun is, there it is up here. It's got no strength and no heat to it anymore. So the daytime temperatures are not going to be enough to thaw this. And I really needed to scrape the yard and level it and sort it all out before the frost came. Well, I was busy yesterday and the day before and the day before that. So here we are. It's only a light frost. It should break up. So the idea is over the course of the summer, we get lots of ruts and bumps and debris, a lot of debris all over the yard. And I have to clear all that up and scrape the yard level in order for my snow plough to be efficient, because we're just a few days away from our first snow, and temperatures are not going to be into double, well, they're going to dip below minus and stay below. It's at 32, see, 32 minus. You can work it out. Anyway, so today's task, let me turn the camera around. Today's task is basically to clear this area, which is where we cut all our wood up. Clear this mound over here so I've got somewhere to scrape the snow, and then level the entire yard. And that's really important, not just for the snow plough working during the winter, but also in the spring, where I've got low-lying bits, we'll just end up with huge lakes and nothing will run down. And all the water, the spring melt, has to come off the banks up the back there and run all the way down there. And then it all channels. As you can see, it's got gradient here. It's like a river coming out of there. It all channels down here. And that's where I've got to get everything to drain from. So by and large, I push a lot of snow down here and I'll mountain it all up right by the gullies. But now this has only occurred this big dip here has only occurred in the last 2 or 3 years when I've been aware of what I was doing. Otherwise it all builds up against the building and it comes in through the walls. So you can see where the last few years I've managed to get the water tracking to this side and all the way down, and then I've actually dug out a V. There's a big drainage ditch there and a culvert that goes under the road, and everything needs to drain down here. So preparing the yard for winter, which is now, is vital. Otherwise spring, well, melt, it'll be a nightmare, and there'll be water running into the buildings. And then these ditches you can see here, we actually dig those out. So there's channels going across the yard to stop the water flow. The water flow passes these channels, and it does when it comes off this roof, then it will just roll straight into there and straight into the factory. So there is a lip here now, and I've dug this out and I get it to run that way and then down. So yeah, all the foliage, all the debris has to go. I have to redo all the channels, and then we're ready. What day is it today? Tuesday. First snows Wednesday night, and there's the snow plough over there. And well, we'll just go and look at that while we're at it, because my intention was to clean it up, do a little bit of welding on it, and then paint the face. Because what I get is a build-up of the snow. It doesn't always channel out, and there's 2 reasons for that. Firstly, my tractor don't go fast enough to throw it, and secondly, it's not as clean and as smooth as it should be. So well, you can see where this gravel even is stuck here. This first part gets blocked up and it doesn't flow out, and it's old and it's had lots of repairs, but I wanted to repaint it in something smoother. Now I have got the option of spraying it with silicone to see if that will get it to flow out, but it doesn't flow as well as I'd like. And I see we've got another new crack opening right up here. See, I'd like to have run a weld down that and ground it off. It's old, it's been repaired many times. In itself it's quite good, but I did want to, there's a crack on one of the struts somewhere, I wanted to give it a bit of extra weld. But anyway, this is what we got, so this is what we have to live with. But when it breaks in the middle of the winter, it's just not, it's not helpful. So like here, all this foliage and stuff, everything needs to be cleaned off. So I'm going to do time-lapse today, because it's the way, when I'm watching some of my favourite channels, you know, Diesel Creek and Andrew Camerata and people like that, the time-lapse videos, that's... Anyway, we're going to do time-lapse today. Time-lapse today of the tractor working and clearing up the yard. It's quite involved, and I'm sure it would be boring if I left it in normal time. And if I don't leave it in normal time, it takes me about 10 hours to edit it. So there we are, enjoying the time-lapse, and I'll try to find some less terrible music this time. Well, we put that ditch back in. That's not easy. In fact, other than doing it by hand, I can't imagine a more difficult way to dig a ditch than with that huge bucket, but we've done it. And the sun may be out. It's now -3, so that's us done on this project for today. It's a huge improvement on what it was. It's nice and flat again. The important ditches are in. That one there is. We need some more across here, but it's just freezing harder and harder now already. So I need to stop that. And despite the cold, I thought I could get it done before it freezes again. Didn't clear up very well there, Simon. Anyway, this all looks better. But I now have to change wheels. So for those of you have been a viewer to the channel for a while, over in the corner there, you would have noticed huge stacks of wheels. No, I don't collect wheels. These are the winter wheels. Yeah, they need changing today. So these are the winter wheels, and they're studded. So I have to change all the wheels and all the vehicles because these will be no use anymore, and it will be time to drive on studs tomorrow. So we need to get a cup of coffee, release the hund. Come on, come on. Oh, it's a bit reluctant. We're going to have coffee inside, in the warm. Come on. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, let's go and have coffee and then we'll change some wheels. Last job of the day. Fit the studded tyres, or wheels and tyres, onto the car. Okay, so I never want to point out anything obvious, but I haven't put the nice plastic hubcaps back on. And that's the way it will look now for 7 months. And there's a reason I haven't put the nice plastic hubcaps on. And I did for the first 2 seasons. What happens is the snow and the ice pack up in the wheel. And that all gets packed in there, which means then the hubcap freezes to the wheel, so you can't get it off. In addition to that, then when the brakes heat up, the packed ice turns into ice and refreezes almost instantly, making the whole thing an absolute nightmare. In addition to that, if they pack up too much, the hubcaps can just fly off. So we don't do that. And that'll have to be the last job of the day now. It looks quite light, but must be the camera. What was I saying? I lost my train of thought there. Yeah, I would like to have done both vehicles and got the chain on the tractor, but there's no way I can start hauling those huge chains onto that tractor this time of the day. The other thing is, I did a quick review of the time-lapse, and still the settings are wrong. So 6 hours work in 30 seconds, or thereabouts. Anyway, I'm going to need to go and look at it. I'm sure I can change those time-lapse settings. So it's going to be a short video. It's just the way it is. The time-lapse just took it out. Any of the skill that was involved, it just wrecks it, really. But that's the end of the day. So thanks for joining me. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.